ask me some questions, you know, like, you know, what I have planned for Thanksgiving, stuff like that.
What do you have planned for Thanksgiving?
Nothing.
This is going well. All right.
Well, I mean, you should think of things on your own. Like, you know,
I thought,
what did you
don't
do
they
for
prepare
Halloween,
this stuff or something? Don't they prepare you? No.
Usually, yeah, you didn't repair.
I repaired. I did the repair.
Annie, tell everybody what we're about to do.
We're going through the It House here at Warner Brothers. No idea why we're doing it.
Because you love to get scared.
I know. Okay. We gotta calm and we go slow.
Ah! We're not. It's just a little tiny animal. Boop, boop. Okay, flashlight.
Wait for Ellen.
Thank you.
Okay, so welcome to the Nebo house. My name's... Come on, come on.
Okay.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, so obviously... You have to stop! That's not part of the thing!
Really just that.
Look, one of my favorite things about your show is you give away so much stuff. And I actually wanted to do something on this show tonight.
They don't do it here.
They do not like it.
Jimmy is so cheap. Jimmy does not... He never... And I watch the show every night. I love him, but he never gives anything away. We give away stuff all the time.
For DiCaprio, some real blood was spilled. He broke a glass in this scene, but kept on acting.
That was the fun part, is watching their reactions. Honestly, because boom, it happened, and then I opened my hand, and then blood starts pouring everywhere. And I saw Jamie go, like this, and Quentin like had his eyelids and goes.
My first experience was with Gangs of New York, and you know, I was doing a scene with Cameron Diaz where she repeatedly had to slap me in the face over and over and over again. So he said to me, you know, when Bob De Niro and I used to do a scene like this, you know, Bob would take real slaps in the face, you know, real slaps. And I said, well, of course, you know, anything you and Bob used to do, I totally respect that. I'm absolutely game. So 35, 40 takes later, I was passed out on the floor. The side of my head was like a cantaloupe. I literally couldn't see straight. I looked up at Marty, did we get it, sir? Did we get it? He's like, oh, that was perfect, kid. That was perfect. Now we just have 6 more angles on this shot. And that's it.
I do these Jack Nicholson. I
love taking my grandmother with me wherever I go, and she got to go on safari, for example, but to go to the Picasso Museum, and the great-grandson of Pablo Picasso himself, you know, was giving us a tour, but I could tell she was not feeling these paintings at all. She didn't really know what all the hubbub was about Picasso. So I told her, you know, Oma, just please, you know, just, even though that's your opinion, just keep it to yourself. When he asks you about the painting, she goes, okay, okay. He goes, so Helena, what do you think of this painting? She goes, what is this right here? He goes, well, this is his third wife. You know, it's cubism. It isn't exactly representative of what. She goes, you could tell me this is a cat, or a dog, or a snake, or a fly. I would say, okay, because it looks like nothing. Nothing to me. If you paint a woman, it should look like a woman. This is nothing.
What do you do on your time off? You got some time off? What do you do to relax?
I try to go on vacation, but it's kind of funny how the American media and film has really infiltrated every single culture around the world. Like, I try to go, like, for example, to Brazil, to the middle of the rainforest, thousands of miles from any type of city or, you know, anything like that. And basically, I went to this Indian village, this tribe, and I met the chief of all chiefs, and, you know, he didn't speak a word of English. He was naked, and he had his face painted, and I was like, wow, man, here, I'm really going to get to disappear. This is amazing. Commune with nature. And his son was sitting next to me, and, you know, we had an interpreter, and he was talking to us about his village and everything, and the son looked at me and went, Leonardo? I said, yeah. He goes, DiCaprio? I go, yeah. He goes, Titanic, right? Yeah, that's me. And then pretty much I started to realize that everyone in the entire village had seen Titanic. And I looked in the corner of this straw hut, and there was a tiny little color television with a little satellite dish. And they'd been watching American movies for years, man. I was shocked. I was on a plane to Russia, and the engine exploded. I was looking out the window, and the entire engine just turned into a fireball. I was the only person there that seemed to see this, but it was a flaming fireball. I kind of felt like I'd already died and gone to heaven because no one said anything. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs saying, what the hell is going on here?
And these people just kind of looked back, and the stewardess came out and said, "We seem to have a slight problem here." And the Russian guy finally said, "What is the problem?" And I said, "Well, we lost one of our engines." And he goes, "How many engines did we have?" He goes, "Well, we had 2, and now we have 1.
What is your latest obsession? What's the thing you're obsessed with these days?
K-pop.
K-pop. Explain to those who don't know what K-pop is.
It's a global phenomenon, so I'm sure that everyone already knows.
There are people out there.
It's Korean pop music.
Yeah.
And it's beyond excellent. It's the best thing you've ever seen.
It's the best thing you've ever seen, and it's what is it about? Is it the videos? Is it the music?
It's like the combination. I don't know what it is. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. It's just it's also addictive. My apartment right now that I just rented is empty.
You have an empty apartment.
I just have an empty apartment that just sits there. I'm just like reading about these moms that are like doing really important things, like taking care of their children, like having busy days.
Yeah.
And I have an empty apartment. I was dancing and I stepped on a piece of glass and I didn't know it, and so then I just kind of was like, oh, and looked. And my heel was like, my foot was bleeding everywhere. I sat down and I was like, what do we do? And someone took a knife, pulled the glass out of my foot, and then someone went, you want to come on stage with Prince? And I was like, yup. And they just took me a minute later, and I was like, with a stage with Prince, like with a bleeding foot.
Let's take a look at that again in slow motion.
Oh, okay.
Tell us what's occurring here as Damien goes to kiss his girlfriend.
Damien certainly wants to hug, not me. Okay.
Hey, Allison,
Hi.
how are you?
Good.
Okay.
You ready to do this?
Why don't we start with the jewelry one?
Okay,
Is that
great.
okay?
Yeah, that's fine. So let's get the couch.
Look right in the camera. Tell me your name, miss.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Bronson.
And you are sir.
I think we know. Don O'Brien. Well, guess what, First Lady? I took your challenge earlier today. Take a look. All right, First Lady, here are your 5 chin-ups. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah!
That's it!
Come on, one more!
No!
One more, Kevin!
My neck hurts!
Kevin, one more!
No! That's it!
Our thanks to Kevin Hart for helping me out with that.